Hey, Jenna,
Yes, Steve.
what do you call two spiders that just got married?
Do I want to know?
Newlywebs.
Uh,
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Engage, a family gaming podcast. This is episode 187. 187. Guys, you gotta forgive me. We recorded a million episodes during E3. But my name is Steven Dutzman. I am your host, and I am joined by a bevy of guests today. Our regular folks, Amanda is busy breaking news on GamesDaily.biz. Big news. Everybody should go look. It's crazy. And Linda is also busy. So I have crazy guests. First, we have a returning guest, Anitra Smith from the Family Gamers.
Hi there.
And I have Brian and Darcy Zalewski, the stay-at-home Family Gamers. How are you?
We're doing great.
Good.
Welcome aboard this crazy sailboat. I want to say, before I get too much farther into stuff, I have been a fan of you guys' content for a very long time. You guys do YouTube, you do a lot of cool Facebook Live stuff, Instagram. So ever since I found you guys, I can't remember when, it was like a random thing that got recommended to me. And I've been a huge fan, and I've wanted to get you guys on here. And so I'm finally glad that I managed to just remember to ask while you were near your computers.
We're happy to be here.
So, for those of you listening, this is the official video game and board game podcast for EngagedFamilyGaming.com. EFG is a website where parents like myself and my co-hosts come together to make sure everyone has the information they need to get their family game on. I've already told you who's joining me this week. And obviously this week we're going to be talking about board games because Lord knows I talked about plenty of video games over the last week. If you didn't catch our E3 coverage, although there was footage, we did video, head on over to EngageFamilyGaming.com. The front page is literally full of interesting stuff. And we didn't talk about Cyberpunk 2077 for an entire week straight, because that's a rated M video game. We talked about all sorts of other stuff. So if you want to find out about other stuff, you can check that out. But this week is board games. And not only am I excited to finally switch gears, but we're not just making stuff up. This is a big deal because Origins Game Fair just happened, and all three of you crazy people were there.
Yes, I'm still recovering a little bit.
And Darcy and Brian, you guys brought your kids.
Yes, because we're that
Crazy like
That's madness.
It's on brand, though.
It is truly on brand. And I say that knowing full well that Anitra is like, but we bring our kids to PAX Unplugged, and I'm like, yeah, you guys are crazy then too. So let's talk about before we talk about Origins, because that's going to be the bulk of our topic today. What the experience was like, and also what the excuse me, what some of the games were that you played. Because I know just from listening, you guys played a bunch. Let's talk about you guys, Darcy and Brian. You guys have been running Stay-at-Home Family Gamers for how long?
About 2 years now.
2 years, man. Doesn't time fly?
I know. It seems like it almost feels like forever, though.
I think I was just listen. I've been running Engage Family Gaming for 7, and it feels like my entire life. I don't really remember a time when I didn't do it. So I hear that. I think I was on your 2-year anniversary stream when you guys were kind of talking about some of your favorite memories. And that was so cool for me. I love seeing content creators kind of celebrating their success, and you guys have done so much cool stuff in 2 years. Especially and everything, you've learned so much. Here's my question. You could have done anything, obviously. You guys are smart content creators. Content creation is very difficult. What made you want to cover board games?
Well, actually, Brian and I used to cover a lot of World of Warcraft stuff because we used to play that a lot pre-kids.
You guys were World of Warcraft people.
Started 2008 or 9.
Okay.
Originally, just us two.
Brief segue, Hoarder Alliance.
Oh,
This
Horde.
determines our friendship.
Horde. Yeah.
Well then, I mean, I guess we're gonna have to be fine. So I was Alliance, but to be very specific, I just went wherever the dwarves did. So like,
Yeah,
if
I did
dwarves
the
were
dwarves, too.
Horde, I would have gone.
Yeah.
You know, like
I had one of each, so.
All right, so that's fair. So don't judge me too harshly. I really just went where the dwarves did. We can talk about World of Warcraft when the podcast is over. So you guys were doing World of Warcraft content creation, and then that faded.
It faded. Yeah, when I got pregnant, because I wanted to talk about my pregnancy. So then I started a parenting blog.
Okay.
So we've
And
had
that's
that
still in
for,
existence,
like-
right? You
Yes,
still do
it
that
is.
too. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so we have that one that's still running, and then a couple of years ago, because we were doing so much more gaming with the kids, and we felt like, it'd be great to share this more with people. We have our friends that ask us for recommendations, and then we're kind of like, let's try it. Let's focus on video and go from there.
Cool. And so from the day that you decided you were going to do this thing until the first piece of content went live, how long was it? Like, did you do this like over a week because you're impetuous, or did you overthink literally every pixel on your front page like I did?
I feel like we really just jumped in. I
It
think
was pretty quick. It's probably been a month or so that we decided. I mean, obviously it's been talked about for a while, but let's do this, and then we got it done and got the videos up.
Sweet.
I mean, the first videos were definitely more focused on video games, and we do still do some video game stuff, but then we found that our board game content was getting better views and things like that, and that's what we were getting asked about a whole lot more, so that's what we started focusing on more.
Sure. You know what? I had a similar experience. Engaged Family Gaming was intended originally to be only about video games. And we had one person, Kelly, she who needs no title, a longtime original podcast host, volunteered to do some writing, but would only do it about board games. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I figured it'd be like a once every couple of months we'd do a list or something. And they kind of blew up. And I was like, well, guess we got to split the whole thing. Because, man, I mean, there is a hunger for board game content out there, even today, as kind of saturated as that market is. And
Yeah, found out.
yeah, right? How crazy is that? So so where are you guys? You guys are in the center of the country, right?
Yeah, we're outside of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay. Big Bucks fans, I'm guessing.
I don't really
No.
watch a lot of basketball.
Maybe.
Okay, that's all I got. I don't know who else is there. So,
Packers.
Packers.
all right. Oh, is the Packers? Yeah, you're right. All right, that's fair. All right, so the Packers. That's fair. I don't bring up sports ball very often on here. Usually, I mean it as a joke. Because most of my guests are like, I don't do the sports balling, but I'm like, you live in Milwaukee, like you gotta.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of like you at least know who they are.
Right.
Do you have a cheesehead hat anywhere in your house?
I don't think we do right now. My dad has one.
All right, that's cool. All right. So that you're 1 degree of
Really
separation from a
one.
cheesehead hat. That's good enough for
Yes.
me. That's good enough for me. So, so how long have you been doing the parenting blog? That's one thing that literally I just found out about, because you really don't talk about like, I mean, because I've been so intent on watching your board game stuff, like I just didn't realize it until we were Facebook friends. And I was like, wait, you do this other thing. How long have you been
Yes.
doing that?
So
Basically,
I've had that.
since you were pregnant?
Yeah, since 2010. So it's celebrating 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, that's pretty cool. How is that going? Like, what's that? What is that like being in the parenting blog space? Because the gaming blog space is a very specific kind of, we're just a bunch of dorks. I'm guessing the parenting blog kind of exposes you to a different subset of content creators.
It does. I've kind of gone through this whole evolution, though, because when I first started doing it, a lot of us didn't have ads. A lot of us didn't do sponsored content. And then, I've, over the years, done a lot of sponsored content. I've had, campaigns that have run for multiple months, things like that, and kind of seeing how everything moves. It's different when you're like in the baby space, like blogging a lot about pregnancy, and then you kind of move into other stuff. And right now I focus a lot on like kids crafts, science activities,
Sure.
you know, things like that. So
Because you do the
Sure.
you do the homeschooling, right? Is that
no, I don't homeschool. Gosh,
you don't
no.
homeschool? Did I miss?
I couldn't handle that with mine.
I don't know. Where did I? All right, maybe I'm just getting y'all confused with somebody else. Yeah, I couldn't do it either. My kids would drive me insane. Also, I'm way too dumb to teach kids. That's why we have people that are really good at that. Like people whose profession is to do
Outside is
that.
up short too.
What happened, Anitra? Anitra's having some technical difficulties, but I'm sure she said something sassy about me. Yeah, I'm way too dumb to teach my kids, so I'm very lucky that there are some
Little
people
bit.
that are nearby that are willing to help. So yeah, you know what? The thing that I'm finding now that I've been doing Engaged Family Gaming for as long as I have, and I'm sure you're kind of experiencing it, some of that on the parenting side, is like, you know, like you said, your kids are getting older, so you're blogging about different stuff. And I'm running into this similar thing where it's like I have a 13-year-old now, and he's looking at me like he watched most of the E3 press conferences with me, and he's like, "Yo, Dad, can I play that game?" And I'm like, eventually.
I play what?
Like, yeah, so like we're watching the Watch Dogs, like the Watch Dogs thing, and he texts me and he's like, "Hey, Dad, can I play that game?" And I said no, because it's Watch Dogs. But then it just hit me like, I'm really not going to have much of a leg to stand on for that long. Like, at what point, you know, like, and it's just an interesting thing where when I started doing this, it was 7 years ago. He was 7. Mm-hmm. And it's like, Skylanders are bust. You can play Skylanders, and it never. And I mean, I knew eventually he was going to be playing "quote unquote" big kid games, but like, it never occurred to me that eventually I'd have to make the decision where it's like, well, that game's not that bad, you know. And so it's been but then again, I have a 6-year-old now who is just getting into things, and she like literally yelled at me when Nintendo delayed Animal Crossing. Like she got like real mad.
He's all of us.
I mean,
Well,
yeah,
I mean, we can all be
I wanted
disappointed
out
with
to.
Nintendo, but like she yelled at me like it was my fault.
because it is, of course.
Oh yeah, I mean, because I know Nintendo. Listen, if I could control Nintendo, I would have gotten more of my E3 predictions right. So, yeah. So what has that experience been like? Right, like you started blogging about pregnancy, which blogging while pregnant has got to be a terrifying experience for everyone around you. Did anyone try to edit you while you were right?
I mean, there were moments with you know, like the private blogging groups and stuff. Like there were times where, you know, those high hormones were not a good place for me to be. But
Sure.
it is crazy, like looking at, you know, I used to review cloth diapers, you know,
Whoa.
and then
All right.
and now at this point it's like my youngest is going into first grade. It's crazy.
Yeah. That is nuts. Okay, so like yeah, that's a way different experience for me being like, all right, let me review a Dora the Explorer game, and now it's like, do I really have to write about Watch Dogs? Like that's a very different going from cloth diapers to like, check out this cool STEM experiment where we can teach them about where we can teach kids like blockchain. Very different. And this is just for our listeners, getting a window into the lives of content creators who are just trying to write about stuff we care about, because it's not like this is our full-time jobs. We're just trying to make it work, and we're trying to find the content. So you guys found yourself at Origins. You guys went to Origins last year too, right? Or was it just one of you?
Yes, the whole crew went last
Whole
year.
crew. So this is your second year.
Yeah. People sort of knew us there this year.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, people actually recognized us, which was like, it felt awesome, and it was a little weird at the same time. Like,
well, I mean, you've got a brand.
yes.
You are, you know, smart and funny, and you make good content, so that's good. I would expect that people would recognize you. Let's talk about, so I'm not going to ask why you would go to a board game convention. That's dumb, right? Everybody knows why. That's where the
It's pretty
content
obvious,
is.
right?
Yeah, right. Because conventions are awesome. So, but here's the real thing. I'm interested. So, you went to Origins 1 year, did the whole gambit, came home, and then you decided to go back. So obviously you didn't hate it. What kind of stuff did you guys learn, like as a family going to a convention and kind of learning between the two shows? Like, what did you change to make it an easier experience?
Well, we went and added an extra day this year.
Okay.
So we knew we were going to be attending for 3 days this year instead of trying to cram it all into 2. That made a big difference.
Yeah.
We knew about things like Critter Care this time because going into it last time, we didn't know that they had like on-site like daycare and things like that, so that we could drop the kids off for a break.
Yeah, man, I wish more conventions had that.
No kidding. It was so nice. And my kids actually asked for it.
So how did it work?
They like it.
Everybody I knew there with kids was like, my kids just want to be in Critter Care all day.
That sounds awesome. Tell me about it. Like, what was it? Just a room with board games and a volunteer staff?
Basically, I mean, they have like a, I think it's Kitty Core. They're like a licensed like childcare.
Oh man!
And they are on site. They have like a big room, so there's plenty of space for the kids in there. There's lots of board games. There's crafts, which I mean that got my daughter excited. She likes working on that kind of stuff too. And yeah,
That's awesome.
they could just like chill out there, not have to be walking everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. Was it
maneuvering
expensive?
through.
Like $2
It
an hour?
costs. Well,
Or generic,
no,
what they call it?
it's 2 generics an hour per kid, so that works out to about $4 an hour.
$4 an hour per kid, that's amazing.
Dude,
Right?
that's like robbery, man. I need a babysitter in Connecticut, and I'm dropping $20 an hour per kid, easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Woof. Wow, that's all. I mean, all right. So super convenient. And your kids were actually happy, so that let you guys do your work, obviously.
Or enjoy ourselves and demo some
And
games.
by work, I mean walk around, talk to people, and play board games. I'm sure you were miserable.
I know. It's the hardest work in the world to do.
I mean, but I don't want to make light of it. It's still hard. It's just fun.
It is still work, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Your
I
legs
mean,
are killing you.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. And the fact that you can't just. I mean, the hardest part for me is I just want to chat people up. Like I just love just BSing with people, as you can imagine. But you got to move on, right? But you got to move on because number one, you're being rude if you talk to them for too long.
Right.
And then you got to go look at more stuff because if you miss a booth, you miss some games. Yeah, absolutely. So you learned. So you focused more on Critter Care because you knew it was there. You were there for an extra day. That's obviously a big deal. What other kind of changes did you guys make?
Last year we drove. This year we flew.
Oh,
Intro.
listen.
Wow. Did
So-
you have any trouble getting out? Because I did, and a lot of other people did too, like when it was all over.
We went really early Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Oh, there was a travel problem. You know what? I saw a couple people get stuck. How long did it take you to get home, Anitra?
I was supposed to get on a plane at 11 a.m. on Monday. I finally actually got on a plane at 5:30, so I got home at like 9:30 at night.
Oh, wow.
When I had intended to be home by like 2.
I guess we did it right then.
You know,
on
see
Sunday.
my kids.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, I get that. At least you didn't have to go on like the red eye. That's how we got home from LA, and I'm so like not going to LA was worth it. Just to avoid that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, man, how big is Origins? I've never been. So
I don't know if I compared to anything. I really have been to anything big.
Anitra,
Some of the Gen Con.
I can compare because I've been to PAX Unplugged. It was bigger than PAX Unplugged.
all right.
It didn't really feel bigger than PAX Unplugged because it wasn't
Really well laid out.
quite as well organized as PAX Unplugged, even though they've been doing it a lot longer. Like each individual piece is pretty well organized, but it seems like there's no sort of overarching thing connecting everybody and everybody communicating. So I don't have exact numbers, but yeah, it felt similar to PAX Unplugged to me. A lot of exhibitors, a lot of panels, and tons of game time that you could register for in advance. Both board games, tabletop RPGs, LARPing, you name it.
They had LARPing there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were looking for the family one, but we missed the time. We just couldn't do. I mean, I think they were too young.
Yeah, they don't want little kids whacking people with foam swords.
Oh no, they were in the arena. They were hitting each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Origins Arena.
But that was separate from
from
the other LARPing experience. So
listen, I can't let my kids near my
LARP for
weapons.
kids.
Yeah, I can't let my kids near my weapons. I just get hurt.
I'll tell you, it shocked me about 2 years ago now when our youngest was 3. I looked at him like, you somehow instinctively know how to pull your blows. Too bad your older brother and sister still haven't learned that.
Yeah, my kids, I'm sure they know how. They just refuse.
Sure. Well, it's more fun that way.
All right, so enough about... So I'm still shocked that there... I mean, I guess I shouldn't be shocked that there was LARPing there. I think that's kind of fun. But, so... Let's talk about the games you guys play, because I think this is probably people can listen to us talk about conventions anytime, but now it's time to like get hype, because you guys, from what I see, like, I mean, you guys did your, Darcy and Brian, you guys did your wrap-up video that you posted over the last couple of days, and so you guys obviously came home with some games. I saw your haul. I was very jealous.
So many
I'm more
games.
proud that we got it.
3 carry-ons dedicated to games. Like that's all that was in 3 of our carry-on.
That's amazing. I flew with carry-ons only, so I actually on Sunday afternoon I packed up a box, walked to a couple of blocks over to the FedEx Kinkos, and shipped it home.
I almost thought about doing that. We were able to get it all in.
It's cheaper than checked luggage. That's all I'm gonna say.
So I was super jealous because I rarely come home with big hauls like that. I think part of it's because I don't really ask for a lot. I should learn from you guys. So the excuse me. So let's talk about some of the games that you guys really enjoyed. Anitra.
Yes.
Before your computer explodes again, tell me
I'm
a
good
game
now. It's not
that
gonna
you.
explode.
Oh, you're good. All right. Well,
Yeah.
still, tell me a game that you played.
Oh, I think one of my favorites was Draftosaurus.
What?
Yes.
It is exactly what it sounds like. You draft little tiny dinosaur meeples and place them on your board. So you're handing
Cool.
like a handful of dinosaur meeples to the person next to you.
Okay.
It was
So is it
awesome.
out of? Are you drafting like out of a bag?
Yeah.
Or is it? All right.
You
Still.
pick a hand of 6 little meeples. Everybody does, and then everybody picks out one and passes the remaining 5 meeples to the left. It was really neat. I mean, obvious comparisons to Sushi Go because it was quick and it was cute. But the decisions that you made felt like they had more weight to them because your little board has 7 different places you can put dinosaurs. So you start strategizing which dinosaur you want to put where and how many of which dinosaur you think are coming down the line.
Can we just appreciate for the fact, my dear listener, that Anitra just said your board has 7 different places that you can put dinosaurs, and she didn't. That wasn't a joke. That
No,
wasn't
straight up
no,
the truth.
like legit. There's 7 different places you can put dinosaurs. We live in a magical age, Brian. You know what I mean? Like just.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if you were a dinosaur kid when you were like, but like they didn't have cool dinosaur games like this.
No, not
If
at
they did, I probably still wouldn't be a paleontologist because I'm too stupid. But I'd at least have thought about it. Darcy?
Oh yes.
Okay, so you played Draftosaurus, and also Draftosaurus is just such a It's such a stupid name, but it works.
I mean, it's kind of a cutesy name, but it tells you exactly what you're doing.
No, it really does.
I know exactly what it is.
Oh man, I love it.
It sold out within an hour.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They had a limited. They had a limited collection. I think the full set's coming out at Gen Con. I think that's what I heard. So they had like 20 copies, and it was all sold out within the first hour on Thursday morning.
What was the price on that one?
It was either $20 or $25.
Oh, I mean, all right. So, cute game, dinosaurs, $25. It's big.
Oh, and it plays in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's destined to be gone within seconds.
Yeah.
Were the dinosaur meeples cute? You know what? I got to look at Board Game Geek.
You do.
Yeah, they're totally cute.
They're real cute, brightly colored. They are dinosaur meeples. They're exactly what you would expect.
Did you guys get to play it, Brian and Darcy? Or?
Yeah.
It was the first one we walked into, and so I think it's why it was so popular, because it was right there when you walked into that one room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of the rooms that was open, like, I don't know, 6 to 10 p.m. or something like that. It was open longer than the exhibit hall, and this was right in the front. Come demo Draftosaurus.
All right. Yeah, those are real cute. Wow, my dear listeners, these are really cute dinosaurs. Oh, and they got like a pink one and a little Stegosaurus. Wow. Was this Kickstarted?
I don't think so.
Wow. Doesn't look like it would have needed to be.
Remember.
Somebody would have just had to publish this. I'm a fan. I can't wait until it is available and I can snag a copy, because that looks fun as all get out.
Yeah, same here, because I didn't get a copy. So, yeah.
Well, they only had like 20 of them. So, man, yeah, you know what? A lot of folks were talking about it on the, on various Facebook groups and stuff, but now that you definitely sold me on it. So that is Draftosaurus. I'm sure it's getting on its way to a second printing now. If it even needs one. Brian, tell me a game that you played that you kind of enjoyed.
We got to play a full, when the kids were in Critter Care, we got to play a full game of Deadly Doodles, which we really liked.
That was nice. There were so many roll and writes.
Yes, I was like rolling rights everywhere.
That's great if you like them. So tell me about Deadly Doodles. What's the whole point of that game?
You're trying to make your way through a dungeon. You get loot and kill monsters, and that. But it's based on the taps. So,
okay.
Depending on what cards you get, it'd be really difficult to get where you need to go without hitting a wall or whatever.
Okay. And you played this one. And you played this one too, Anitra?
I did. It was really neat because there's a point when you're flipping over the cards that this one comes out that's a trap. And if you're not already keeping your board secret, at that point you need to keep it secret. Decide where you're going to place the trap on the board. And then you play the rest of the game, not being able to see each other's boards. And at the end, you find out if the people you're playing against ran through the square that you placed a trap in, or if you ran through the traps that they placed on their boards.
That's kind of neat. So are you guys like cat burglars? Is that the shtick? Is this like a... Oh, okay. With like fantasy elements, or...
the art was very basic, but yeah, it's like there's a dragon in there, and...
The artwork was very Munchkin-esque.
Oh, okay.
I guess that makes sense.
Cool. And that one, did that premiere at Origins?
It sold out.
Oh.
As well.
Yeah,
we didn't get to get a copy of it.
Well,
that one took a little longer to sell out, but not much.
I guess that's kind of fair. I mean, it looks like you guys got a copy of just about everything else, so.
Not quite.
Okay, I kind of dig it. So you got the different pads. Are you whiting on those with dry erase, or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, how cool is that? Oh, and it's from Steve Jackson Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why the art looks like Munchkin.
Oh, so it must be the same person.
That's kind of their brand.
Yeah. Goofy art. Well, that's cool. All right, so we got Draftosaurus, Deadly Doodles. You guys are making me jealous more, like, by the minute. Because I didn't get to play any of these cool games. So, Darcy, what's a game that kind of caught you off guard?
Caught me off guard?
Yeah. What did you like that you didn't expect to?
Well, see, that's tough because pretty much everything I expected to like I did.
Okay, well then just pick one at random then. Here I am trying to be a tricksy interviewer, and I should just be like, tell me about game.
Give me all the games.
One of them that we played a few rounds of was Roll for Adventure from Thames and Cosmos.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, I'm not sure if we were playing it entirely correctly after they showed us how to play, and then he was helping someone else. But we were still having fun.
Great.
But it's a cooperative game, and you're having to roll dice, and you're like having to, draft the dice into certain places to unlock getting these gems, and you have to fight some monsters that come out and try to eat your dice. But it was fun.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking at this. I think I saw this at Toy Fair, but they didn't have a prototype out. All they had was the box, which obviously didn't really help all that much. I remember the box though. It was just I'm
pretty sure it's a Gen Con release because they didn't have them for sale, so that's why I didn't come home with one.
Oh.
I talked to the guy at Cosmos. He said $35 releasing at Gen Con.
Yeah, so it's a good price for it too.
Awesome. Yeah, $35, a whole bunch of dice. The art is kind of cool. I kind of dig some of the different critters. What's this weird skull thing that's showing up in a lot of the key art? There's like this weird, like creepy Day of the Dead looking skull.
That's probably for when the monsters attack that section and you don't have dice for them to eat, then it's kind of like taking the health away from that area.
Oh.
That's right, yeah, that little skull.
Yeah, that skull thing was gross. It was cool. Maybe gross is the wrong word, but that's weird. So I'm on Board Game Geek looking at the board. The board kind of looks like a Trouble board. Looks like I don't know why. It's just the same shape. I'm just being dumb.
It did not remind me of Trouble at all.
All right, well, that's good. That would have been a very different experience. So that's a challenge. Anybody listening, design an upgrade to Trouble. Make it entertaining because you got a long way to go.
Someone's going to do it.
Anitra. Now, somebody can. There's way smarter people than me out there.
Same.
And so, Anitra, tell me about another game you played.
All right, I have one that super surprised me. So I'll tell you about that one. It's called Shobu from Smirk and Dagger or Smirk and Laughter.
Shobu.
Shobu. SHOBU.
You know what? I think
if you follow my Facebook, I've been posting all over about it because it surprised me so much.
Okay.
So it's an abstract game, 2 players. You've got these 4 little boards between the 2 of you, and one player is white, one player is black. And literally, you're just moving stones on the boards to knock each other's stones off. It's the mechanics of how the movement works that makes it one of those games that you sit there, you stare at the board intently, nobody says anything, and then you like move one space, and everybody's like, oh. It shocked me because I didn't expect it to be anywhere near as good as it is. There's these rules about you make a passive move somewhere on the 2 boards that are on your half of the table.
Yep.
And then you mirror that move. If you did your passive move on the left side, you're going to mirror that move on one of the 2 boards on the right side, and vice versa. So like your passive move is somewhere completely open. You're not running into anything. You're not really doing anything except maybe setting up some defensive moves. But then you do that exact same move on the other side, and then it's an aggressive move. You can use it to knock your opponent's pieces off the board.
Huh.
And the goal is to be the last color standing on any one of the 4 boards.
Okay. All right. What's with there's 4 tiles. What's with the rope?
The rope just shows the difference between like my half, your half.
Cool.
Your passive move has to be on your own half.
Okay. All right. My middle son loves abstract games. He's these kinds of experiences, a huge fan. So I think I might have to grab this one. Is it available?
It is. Yeah.
Okay. I might have to pick that one up. Because the middle guy absolutely loves that. Did you guys get a chance to play Shobu? Darcy and Brian? No?
No, I don't remember that one.
I wouldn't have even given it a second look, except the first night I was there, a friend of mine was like, "Hey, have you seen this game? You got to play it." And then the next day, I went over to Smirk and Dagger. I was like, "Tell me about this game. Where did it come from? How did this happen?"
How did this happen?
Gems are always fun.
Right? Yeah. All right. So it's not out yet. Is this a Gen Con release too?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, the really good stuff, they show it to you, tease it, and then it comes out at Gen Con.
Well, that's because Gen Con's just a big old shopping mall.
That's true.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean, did you notice that there were a lot of people, kind of doing a whole bunch of shopping at Origins? Like, did you get the feeling that this was a shopping experience for folks that maybe don't get to go to Gen Con, or was this kind of?
I mean, we did a lot of shopping. I know I saw other people shopping. Stuff was selling out.
All right.
I mean, I think it's mostly people who aren't going to make it to Gen Con like us.
Yeah.
Like you come to Origins and then you do your shopping of what you can there.
Sure.
I think so too. I mean, I have a lot of publisher friends at this point, and nearly every publisher that I talked to who was there sold out of something. A lot of them sold out or came close to selling out of everything they had. So there was a lot of shopping going on.
Wow. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Shobu. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to take a look at this one. I'm pretty hyped. I mean, man, you guys haven't really shown me any bad games yet. Not like you're going to, but you know what I mean. Everything looks so cool. This is what's great about this time of year for board games, right? Like,
yes.
Origins, Gen Con, like it's just nonstop hype from the beginning to end. And I'm just coming off of, even before E3, coming off of doing my preview for Dungeon Drop, and just everything is just crazy. This whole world is just nuts. So, Brian, tell me about another game that you played.
Let me think of what I played. We didn't play a whole game, but we got a quick overview of Sorcerer.
Oh, from White Wizard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that one looks interesting. I mean, if you like hero realms and stuff like that, it's kind of a little more complex than that. But yeah,
sure.
She showed us a quick overview of it, and it's very, very beautiful art and everything. And it seems like it could be very the way that the decks work. It's lots of combinations, so it's never like the same. So you're not going to get bored of the same character or whatever. So we obviously need to play it more to get a better review of it, but. Yeah, it looks really good. I like that kind of card-based battling and whatever.
Sure, I mean White Wizard, they definitely know how to do that thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of their jam. And it looks like I think I saw that game in your pile of. I don't want to call it your pile of shame. In your pile of victory.
Yes, it is definitely in our pile.
Are you guys card combat people? Is this like an on-brand thing for you guys?
We never were, but then we played Hero Realms and we kind of liked it, so we're trying more of them.
Sure.
Yeah, that was our big surprise last year for us.
With
we
Hero
got
Realms?
Hero Realms, yeah, and because we didn't really play a whole lot of deck building games, and then we started playing it last year, and that's one of our most played games. We love deck building games now.
Sure,
mm-hmm.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Man, yeah, deck building games are great once you get used to them. I think. Do you guys find that you have it an easier time or a more difficult time teaching deck builders? I can't teach a deck builder for the life of me, and I think they're easy. I just can't explain it.
I feel like I do a good job because our friends also love Hero Realms, and they went out and bought Star Realms after playing Hero Realms with us.
Okay.
I feel like we can teach it pretty well.
Well, I mean, I knew you guys were smarter than me, so that works out. It's just, for the life of me, I can't teach how to play a deck builder. It's the
I'm not a great
craziest
teacher
thing.
either, so she usually does all the teaching.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Maybe it's just a dude thing. Who knows? So, Darcy, tell me about a game. Tell me about another game you played.
You played more games.
Okay, so actually, this one did surprise me. I didn't know anything about this one before I got there, but I don't typically like press your luck games.
Okay.
And I played Epic Monster Tea Party from Playco.
Okay.
And it's actually really cute, and it was kind of fun. Like, I could see it definitely being fun with the kids, and as like a really light game with other adults too. You have, like a little card that has a character on it. Like I had one with a dragon on it, and they have a teacup, and then you're drafting these little meeples out of a pouch, and they go into your tea, and they have different abilities.
Okay.
And you can either keep them and try to accumulate points, or you can squish them. They're not actually like soft, but you like they
You're a
say
monster.
squish it, and then you like, then that's you use that ability. Like I made him spill the characters out of his tea, things like that. So it was actually, it was cute, and I actually meant to go back and get it, and we did not. It's not in my pile.
It's a little okay. So this is one of those things, and I think we deal with this a lot with kids' games. Is like this theme is really dark for such an adorable game. Like this dude. This game is about straight up eating people.
I love that.
They're kind of like they make great marshmallows. I mean,
I mean, I would make a great marshmallow. But I'm looking at this game. It's got like I'm looking at the covers. It looks like this must be a reprint that you guys were messing around with.
Probably.
The art from it looks like it was originally released in 2014. I'm looking at the art, and it looks like it's got kind of a Where the Wild Things Are kind of monster on the cover, and like these cute chibi little adventurers that are like stuck in the tea. Like it's super adorable, but at the same time, I'm like, that monster's gonna eat those people.
Yes.
And because it's a kids game, so they kind of just get away with it because you can be cute. So Anitra, I'm just going around the circle in case y'all haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Because I did not play any games at Origins, so I'm just kind of reacting. Anitra, what else did you play?
All right. Well, I'm going to give you another one that your family in particular is going to love, Steven.
Okay. All right.
It's called Smash City.
Okay, I'm loving it already.
It's from WizKids. You are a kaiju, a giant monster. And you're battling other giant kaiju.
Sure.
By basically throwing these big foam dice cube things at the other cubes on the board and at the buildings, because hitting buildings and knocking them over will help you and hurt your enemies.
How do you know my family so well? This looks awesome. So you're just chucking these big old dice around?
You're chucking these big old dice. The key is that when it lands, it has to stay on the board, or you get nothing.
Oh, so you got to control it. I don't know if I can.
There's got to be some control there.
Okay.
But because they're dice, each side represents a different ability that your monster has, and they have numbers on them that tell how much damage you can do. And you basically, like any other monster you have line of sight to, you can choose to damage them, or you can probably see in the pictures there's like cars and armies and tanks and stuff. The armies and tanks all represent, troops coming to try to kill you, because you're a giant monster destroying the city, like you do.
Yeah, as one does, yes.
So you can always decide whether you're going to try to attack one of the other kaiju, hopefully bringing them down to 0 health so that you're the last one standing, or if you're going to attack the armies that are around you. Among other things, one of the extra things that you can do is pick up the little cars, which are just printed on cardboard punch-outs, and throw them onto the board, hoping to hit monsters and buildings once again, and do even more damage.
Yeah, I think I might have to pick this one up.
I told you, Steven. My family would not like this, but yours definitely would.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what that means. Like, you are right, but I wonder what that says about my family. You know, like, is it like I get it, and I not only do I appreciate it, but I believe that it is fully correct. I just don't know what it says. You know what I'm saying, Darcy and Brian? Like,
Yep.
is she trying to say something? I mean, whatever she's saying, it's true. Because we would absolutely love chucking this dice and
We'd love
trying
it
to
too,
knock over
probably.
buildings.
I mean, it says that you have older children than mine, and they don't mind just being completely cutthroat and awful to each other.
Oh no, we definitely like to yeah.
Within a game. My kids have a really hard time with that. So I played this and I was like, this is a great game and a terrible fit for my family. So thanks for showing it to me. Goodbye.
So we do a lot of gaming with my mom. And she is like the anti-competitive gamer. So like she tries to make everything a cooperative game.
Everybody
like-
wins.
So for her, like Ticket to Ride is like 100% a cooperative experience. And so she decided to come with me to an event that happened to be a Transformers, the CCG like event. And so she was going to get taught how to play this game. And so she sat down and it just like, I never told her that it was a 2-player like card combat game. Like it's just never. And then so she sat down up against my oldest, and like the realization while he was explaining, because the guy was explaining the game to all of us, and like it slowly dawned on her over the end of it that like this wasn't a cooperative experience. Like she somehow expected that like the Transformers were all going to be super friends, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like the guns didn't clue you in. And so she realized that I was like, Mom, I'm just going to tell you, this is not a cooperative game. This is a one-on-one heads-up card game. And I think she felt betrayed. I think she did. Whereas in the rest of us, I'll just tear my whole family apart in a board game or a video game.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Right.
I'm just saying. You should see us when we play Smash. It's pretty good.
And I always win.
That was my son who was down here. He is in trouble, so he gets to hang out with me rather than keep his brother awake upstairs. So that's Smash City from WizKids. Man, that game looks so good. Like, how do the dice feel? That's my real thing. Like, they're foam.
They're foam, but they're a very stiff foam. So they're mostly foam to keep you from chucking them at each other and hurting each other.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
That's good.
Exactly. I'm like, man.
I could definitely see that happening if this game got heated.
I'm just gonna whip a die at my brother's head or something. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, I probably would. So yeah, I'm digging that. So, Brian, how about let's do one more. Brian, what other game did you get a chance to play?
I know we sat down with the kids and played SOS Dino from Yellow Games,
Okay.
Oh, that's so good.
which I guess to me it felt like sort of. I mean, he didn't explain like that, but sort of like you against the game co-op, trying to save the eggs, the dinos, and lava's little volcanoes, and every turn you pull the lava out and it starts to spread and it changes the board. So you try to get around. I mean, we lost easily, like quickly lost, but sort of that pandemic sort of thing where you got to race against time, cooperative sort of thing. But it's cute little dinos and meteors fall, and we lost one dino. I think it got burned in lava. But yeah, it's like a cute like intro to that sort of game,
Once again, the kind of game that's super cute and the theme is so dark.
Yeah. I mean, so we got little dinosaurs falling in lava. I mean, that's the problem with a lot of dinosaur games, though, right? Like,
If that happens, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just thinking about the whole theme of like kids games that get surprisingly dark. Like I think that feels like a list that I need to make.
Disney movies?
Yeah. You know what, Steven? If I'll take this offline, but if you make that list, I got a couple suggestions that you might not have played.
I am absolutely making this list, and we can absolutely talking about it. I just have to wait until we finish our other massive projects before I take on anything else just for fun. Because
Sure.
you know, we're not allowed to have fun. You know how that stuff goes. Darcy.
I guess it's actually by Loki Games, which is a yellow.
By Loki Games? Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's
no,
a yellow,
Loki.
spin-off, whatever.
Yeah, Loki is their
kids line.
Their like kids line.
Yeah.
Which is something that we noticed it at E3. Not E3. That's just on my brain. At Toy Fair. That just about everybody was either talking about or launching a line of kids games. I guess now about the time when we would start seeing their coming out party.
Except for Haba, who's doing the opposite.
Yeah, they are.
Right.
Oh, are they doing a grown-up thing?
They're doing a line they call Family Game Night,
Okay.
which is more like the 8 and up crowd.
As opposed to their normal...
As opposed to what everybody thinks of, the big yellow boxes, stuff that's for kids ages, 2, 3, 4. But games like Karuba and Honga, which is their
Yeah,
new
I got Honga.
adventure, and those are games with some decently deep strategy, but they're easy to learn. So they're good for that 8, 9, 10-year-old range and adults.
Is Haruba the one with the saber-toothed cat?
Honga.
Honga.
That's Conga.
Tooth cat.
Man, I get these mixed up. I shouldn't, but what are you going to do? So, Darcy,
Yes.
what's another game that you played?
Okay, so this one is not dark. It's not harming any children or adventurers or anything. We spent quite a bit of time with Calliope Games, and one of my favorites that we played with them was Everybody Loves a Parade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're basically drafting, like flowers or balloons, and you're trying to match them to the colors of what the people want, so that when you put your little parade float out there, then you can get your points. So
That is super cute.
it was.
Is
really
this part
fun.
of the Titan series?
Yeah.
Which designer
Yes.
which designer is this one?
I'd have to look it up.
I can do it. I have the power of the internet. Everybody loves a parade.
Everyone loves a parade, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Everyone loves a parade.
Man, you guys are setting
Sorry.
me astray.
That's a different game.
Yeah. Everyone loves a parade, and it is. The designer is Mike Mulvihill, who I do not know. I mean.
Oh, he's the big Shadowrun designer.
Oh, let's stay on brand. Oh, he did Golem Arcana. That's the thing they That's the thing that they kind of included in his little bio when they started the project, and so he's keeping it super on brand. He wants to stay in the genre.
Totally.
And then
Like I saw that guy there.
man, so do you? Is this the kind of thing where you get to pick like the big like parade balloons, or is this more like a town parade where it's little marching
Whatever
bands?
you want, I imagine.
It's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And Calliope, man, don't they have such cool stuff?
Yeah.
Man, they have been one of my favorite companies. Them and Game Right. Like, I've really loved those guys. I mean, pretty much since my first board game convention. The first appointment I ever had was with Calliope Games, actually. And yeah, it was a long time ago. Just to give you an idea how long ago it was, my first appointment with them was, what game did they teach me? Oh God. Suro had been out for like a year or something like that. Like it was, but they taught me, it's the one with the dominoes that go around the board, that they don't even really talk about anymore.
Yeah.
This doesn't sound familiar.
That's what I mean. And then, so they showed me like and like UGG, the card game, this was like some early stuff, And now look at them. I mean, they've got like this massive lineup of games. Oh, excuse me.
It's their 10th year anniversary this year.
I know, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for them. They've done some great work. They really do great work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? The first game that I played with them was Roll For It.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
So it was like its Toy Fair debut was my first appointment with them. And like Ray Weir sat and taught me how to play it. And I was just like, this thing is amazing. Because obviously Roll For It, I mean, it's a Hall of Famer because it's such a good game.
Yeah.
But that's how long I've been doing this crap. And by doing this crap, I mean loving every minute of it, but you guys know what I mean. Anitra,
No idea.
No idea. Well, you guys know I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. Anitra, take us home. One
All right.
more game.
All right, I'm gonna give you a choice. I can give you. I'm gonna give you a choice and then let you know what your choice entails. Your choice is I can tell you about something that is definitely for adults, or I can tell you about something that is marketed for kids, but we played it super cutthroat.
All right. How about you start with the second one, and then you tell me the other one anyway? Because
All right.
we can do one for the grown-ups.
All right.
We're all adults here.
So another one of those booths that almost sold out, totally marketed for kids. It's a game called Echidna Shuffle.
Oh, yeah, we did that last year.
Like Echidna, like
Like
Knuckles.
Yeah, like the Australian little porcupine kind of mammal.
Yeah, like Knuckles.
Yeah.
You know he's an echidna, right?
I do. We talked about that a lot when we were playing it because
All right.
somebody kept calling it Enchilada Shuffle.
Yep.
I think our kids called it that last year.
Enchilada stuff. That would make it a very different game. Oh man, it's so cute. It's so cute.
So cute. It comes with these 12 little echidnas, which are like, they're just like little toy echidnas. They're adorable.
Well done, yeah.
And people, everyone has their own set of colored bugs and stumps. And your goal is to get all 3 bugs in your color to the 3 stumps of your color
Okay.
by writing them on the back of echidnas.
Sure. Okay.
Problem is the forest is super crowded, so you can't just like put the bug on the echidna and then be like, and I'm gonna walk these 3 spaces and there I am. Now I'm at my stump. It's no. I rolled 6 for movement, so I'm gonna move the echidna in front of mine, and then I'm gonna move the one in front of him, and then I'm gonna move the one in front of him again, and then I'm gonna kind of shuffle everybody up like 1 or 2 spaces and get that little bit closer. And the board has all these looping paths, so if you are playing with a bunch of adults, you can be really terrible to each other and be like, oh, you didn't want to go this way on the loop, while you're shuffling all the kids around. You wanted to go left, right? Your stump's over there on the right. I'm going to send you left. So you have to loop around again to get there.
Yeah, we last year we played that, and then we ended up getting the last copy. So went really fast last year.
It was it won the Origins Award for fan favorite family game this year.
It looks it, man. I love those. Here's what I want to do. I want to buy this game and then paint all of them red.
Well, they're all different shapes.
All different.
All of the bugs, each color of the bugs is a different shape. It's a different kind of bug.
No, I mean I want to paint the echidnas red so they're like Knuckles.
Oh, so they're all like Knuckles.
Yeah.
You should totally do that.
That would be. I mean, is that going too far, Brian? Like,
No,
is
go
that
ahead.
like next level nerdery?
That's the best kind of nerdery.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, people
okay.
like to paint their minis, so why can't you paint your echidnas?
Right. Thank you for supporting my madness, Darcy. I appreciate that. Okay, so, all right, let's take a moment and let's get weird. Tell me about this grown-up game.
That never goes well when we start with that.
It's not that weird. But it is probably the only non-kid game that we're going to end up talking about on our show next week, which is Die Hard, the Nakatomi Heist board game.
Of course, of course you're going to talk about the Die Hard game. No, it's not a Christmas game.
I mean, it is. The figures are red and green,
It's
Yeah,
a
oh, I
Christmas
know, I
movie,
know.
So yes, it's a Christmas game.
It's not a Christmas movie.
So, well, and they said they're releasing it for Christmas in July.
Yeah, I mean, of course they are. Of course they're going to capitalize on the meme. I want to take a second. Hold on. Is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone a Christmas movie?
No, it covers the entire year.
But, I mean,
As a
all right.
moment, but no, it covers from like September through May.
But they heavily feature Christmas. It's like Christmas is among the most important parts of that whole year.
Sure.
All right. I still will. This
It takes place in one day. It's Christmas Eve for the entire movie.
Yeah, I mean, this is a hill I will absolutely die on. Die Hard is definitely not a Christmas movie. However, it is a good movie.
I'll leave it at this.
Is it a good board game?
My husband and I watch Die Hard every year while we were wrapping Christmas presents because we don't want the kids to see it yet, but it's become part of our tradition. So.
And because you're giant dorks.
And we're giant nerds.
That's fine. I'm not judging. It's a declaration, not a judgment.
I accept that moniker and make it my own.
Yeah, I dress up like an elf on the weekends. I can't call anybody be offensive.
So it's a one versus many game that roughly follows the plot of the movie. One person plays as John McClane, everybody else plays as thieves. Both John McClane and the thieves have a series of objectives. And the game is played out over 3 acts rather than 3 rounds. Act 1 is, John McClane is trying to keep the thieves from discovering him. He's trying to find a pair of shoes and a gun and basically get out of there.
Sure.
Exit the board. And the thieves are trying to get hostages and find John McClane and also work on unlocking the 7 different locks as the game progresses. So John McClane's role is pretty straightforward. You pick a card from your hand, you play it, that's your action or actions.
Okay.
For it. But you pick that card while the thieves are figuring out what they're going to do. There's some sort of mechanic where they're not really allowed to show their cards to each other, but you end up with 3 or 4 or 5 cards where each one of the people playing a thief has played 1 card. Once they've all played them, they flip them over, they put them in order numerically, and only... I was playing with 3 other guys, so only the card in the middle is the action that actually gets taken. But the 2 numbers on either side go towards unlocking the lock, which is a series of like 4 or 8 or 12 numbers. So it's, you have these other goals. You're obviously also running around, and if you get in range, you're shooting each other or punching each other, and, because it's an action movie.
Because of course you are.
Yeah. And that's the core of the game. We didn't play Act 2 and Act 3, but we got a quick glimpse at them. John McClane's cards, the ones he's played in Act 1, basically join his new deck for Act 2 and give him more powerful abilities in the same style of actions he's already been choosing. So if he was really good at sneaking, he'll get even better at sneaking, but maybe not so good at shooting people. And the other super cool thing is the way the board works. So they've got the 3 acts. Act 1, your quad fold board is completely folded up, and you're using one little quadrant of it. Act 2, you then open it like a book and see what's inside.
Okay.
And it covers 2 squares. And then Act 3, you open it up the other way, and you now have this giant thing where, it's the roof of the building, and John McClane's trying to get the hostages down from the roof. And in Act 3, you're joined, of course, by Hans Gruber.
Okay.
And John McClane needs to kill Hans Gruber. The thieves and Hans Gruber need to kill John McClane.
Sure. That sounds awesome.
It was really great. It is not a game I'd want my kids playing for several more years.
I mean, yeah. So that was at the former, that was at the OP, right? Formerly USAopoly. Did you get a chance to look at the Kingdom Hearts board? Did they have the Kingdom Hearts Talisman board? I saw that board. It's a really nice looking board.
I also heard the rumors of some kind of Toy Story game, and they didn't have that one out either.
Oh, I saw the box. I saw the box for the Toy Story one. They didn't have it out to demo because there's spoilers for the last movie.
Aww.
I guess that makes sense. But you guys reported on it on your Facebook page, right? Was that what I saw? Or was it your Instagram, Darcy?
On my stories, I showed a picture of the box. Yeah, because he let me see the box, but that was it. Oh, that's all I could see.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Listen, I mean, they know how to make a deck builder. I mean, the Harry Potter deck building game is divine. So if I get even half of that good of an experience in Toy Story, as long as it doesn't make me cry over and over again, then I'll be fine.
But it's Toy Story, so you probably will cry?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, you're talking to me like you know me, Darcy, because I cry at everything. Anitra and I have been over this before, but I cry at, like, literally everything.
I mean, me too. Yeah. Yeah.
So my brother and I, he went to go, he often gets to go see films before I do. And so before them, I go, okay, bro, how many Cool Runnings moments are there in this movie? And so because you know what I'm talking about at the end where they pick up I'm tearing up just thinking about it. At the end of Cool Runnings, when they pick up their bobsled on their shoulders and they're walking and everybody's clapping, including the Swiss guy. So like at the end of Endgame, he's like, all right, for real, like there's 5 throughout the course of the movie. There are 5, maybe 6 full-on Cool Runnings moments. Yeah. And he was spot on. He just knew me. He knew when I was going to ugly cry. So, yeah.
I'm going to say if that's the case, never watch Won't You Be My Neighbor, the documentary about Fred Rogers.
Oh, yeah, no, I
started crying half an hour into that and did not stop until the movie was over.
I deliberately avoid anything like that. So I'm going to see Toy Story because like I'm required, like I have to, just based on my childhood. But like I would normally avoid anything that I know is intentionally to try and make me cry. But like Toy Story gets a pass. Everything else, like you guys know what I'm talking about. It's just too good to not see.
I don't necessarily avoid it because, I mean, I went to see Endgame twice knowing how much I cried the first time, and then I still cried the second time in multiple places.
I cried more the second time. Which is even weirder because you'd think, like, I would have been prepared, but, like, nope, because some of them caught me by surprise the first time, so I didn't get to react. Then this time I was like, oh, no, and then it was bad. I also went to go see it with my son, which was like extra, like the second time I went to go see it with my.
Oh, right in the fields, yeah.
And the other extra piece, and this is Engaged Family Movie Cast, but whatever. The other part was like, so it was relatively crowded theater, but we were kind of off in the back and we were kind of by ourselves, and he was asking me questions, and I kept like shushing him, and then I was like, no, he's asking about like Peggy Carter. Like, Captain America came out when he was, like, 5. So, like, I can't get mad at him. And, like, that, like, in the middle of the movie theater, like, and then just all of a sudden just hitting me that, like, I'm mad old. That was rough. That was rough. It was like a punch in the gut. The first time, it was cool. It was, superheroes punching dudes. Then it was like a glimpse at my own mortality alongside the end of Endgame. And Vision wasn't in it, and that was most of my problem. Because Vision is my guy, and he obviously wasn't in the second one. Anyway, I just had a moment. So, I want to thank you 3 for joining me on this wild ride to talk about Origins. So, folks listening, I hope you guys appreciated listening to our podcast as much as we enjoyed recording it. We had a blast here once Anitra got her computer fixed.
Yes. Hooray.
Before that,
I called in my tech support, also known as my husband.
yeah, and he made faces at me while me and Darcy and Brian were trying to work. So you can
That's what we're for, man.
you
Make
can
your
thank
job work.
him. Yeah, you can thank him for that. Darcy and Brian, why don't you share with the audience where my audience can find you on the internets?
You can find us at stayathomegamers.com, and that's our website. We're Stay at Home Gamers on YouTube. We're slightly different on the other socials. On Instagram and Twitter, it's SAH Family Gamers.
Okay.
And then Stay at Home Gamers on Facebook.
Nice. And I would encourage everybody listening. Darcy and Brian do great work. Their videos are entertaining, and you learn a lot. Trust me, I learn a lot, and I'm in the industry, so like if you're going to be all right. So I encourage everybody to go through a like at their Facebook page, and trick the algorithm. Like their page, and then go to their page, and then just like the last 10 things they posted. Heart react if you can, because then the algorithm will think that you want to see their stuff, which obviously you do because you liked their page, and then you'll get their notifications. They also do a bunch of live videos, so click the thing that gets the notifications so you get those. Look, it's like tricking Facebook into showing you the stuff that you want. It's like
That
magic.
you actually want to see. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Anitra, where could my audience find you if they haven't already?
I mean, if you haven't noticed us on the Engaged Family Gaming community already, you can find us at thefamilygamers.com. And we're on all the social medias at Family Gamers AA for Andrew and Anitra.
Wait, really? Wait, we've been over this, but it always surprises me. So, Darcy and Brian, the first time they explained to me what their Twitter handle was, that the AA was for Andrew and Anitra, I did not believe them.
That's really why we picked it.
I was legit convinced that it was a lie, that they were trying to trick me. But it turns out that they were telling the truth. Who knew?
Who knew?
Okay, and also you guys have a podcast.
We do, the Family Gamers podcast.
Yeah, and I have been on it several times.
You have. And someday the folks local here in New England will stop confusing you with my husband. And that'll be a great day. A great day.
There's a little bit of brand confusion, mostly because people don't bother to figure out that I'm significantly taller. Nobody wants to do that.
I don't know what to tell him.
I mean, well, yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's cool.
You're obviously different.
Yeah, it's fine.
But
there's a little bit of brand confusion
it's
on
fine.
the East Coast, guys. So, everybody, let me tell you where I am. My name is Steven. I am the host, and I am also the founder of EngageFamilyGaming.com. The best place to find us and the best place to interact with this crew outside of their own content is to head on over to EngageFamilyGaming.com/community and join in the fun. Darcy and Brian, if you haven't joined yet, you should.
We're there. We are.
Oh, you are? All right, good. The group is big enough now that I can't easily look at the members, which is like hashtag first world problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our community manager took a little bit of a break from, starting the discussions and stuff like that because of E3. We didn't want to spam everybody. But we'll be getting back to that. And we have some fun ideas and giveaways and all sorts of other stuff coming up. Otherwise, just look for Engaged Family Gaming everywhere. You know the drill, folks. Also, keep an eye on our YouTube channel because we have a special project coming up there very soon. We did some custom animations and stuff because we fancy. Also, I stole my video guy. My video guy made the first Snuggie commercial. That's my claim to fame.
You.
It takes a long time to get him to work because free it takes a long time. You know how that goes. So everybody listening, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I will talk to you next week when it will be video game time again, and it will be not quite an E3 wrap-up, but it's going to be a little bit of an E3 wrap-up because Amanda's going to be back, and we're going to talk about a whole lot of junk that happened because she was actually at the show. So, until next time, have a great night, and don't forget to get your family game on. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Engage, a family gaming podcast. Thank you for listening. Tune in next week.